I was in Vietnam 1969 and 70. I was 22 and I was a nurse. We flew into Hon Son Air Force Base, spent a few days in hot, sweaty tents, and then were deployed up to Chu Lai, where I was at the 91st Evacuation Hospital. It was quite an experience, especially for a young person to be in that war zone. In Vietnam was the first time we really dealt with casualties straight off the battlefield within 5 minutes. There's nothing like that kind of injury that you face when you're there. And my experience, I'd only had about a year's experience before I went over. And I was in the emergency department, which meant that we would get radio calls saying that within 5 minutes we would get X number of casualties, gunshot wounds, frag wounds, level of criticality, and the chopper would land and we would have to triage them and get them into surgery and deal with the significant wounds that we had. So it was probably the most traumatic year of my life. Big learning curve, learning experience. I felt like I had really helped save a lot of people. I think one of the crashing moments was when I found out that an awful lot of them died, even after we had revived them. Shock lung was something that was new back then. We didn't know what caused people in irreversible shock to die. So when their lungs collapsed and we ventilated them and got them back and rehydrated them, we thought they'd live, but I was in a hospital on a compound. We did get mortared and fragged. The one nurse that was killed in combat was killed at the hospital I served in. The mortars could reach us. We got mortared pretty regularly, but I was young and naive. I'm not sure I felt threatened. I did when I was away from the hospital, if I was at the airstrip and the airstrip got hit, which it did one time when I was there. So from a combat standpoint, the road trips in Vietnam were dangerous. We had a lot of snipers. We had different kinds of attacks. The biggest challenge, I think, was that there weren't that many women in theater, so we were somewhat of a novelty. The war was a tough place to be. The jungle was interestingly different, and our deployments were longer, and we didn't have the communication we have today. So we were totally separated from our families and communication.